Hello, once again, welcome to our channel. I hope you're doing fine, and I hope in case you're watching for the first time, you're going to subscribe to our channel so that whenever you're doing such videos, you're always notified. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I like talking about numbers because I believe an election is determined by tyranny of numbers. The numbers you get are what determines if you win an election or you lose an election. And today in this video, I want to talk about the cousins. If you have heard Rigathi Gachagua talking about cousins, I Makuzo, and I want to talk about the cousins, what it means, and the valid numbers of the communities or that are considered to be cousins, and can they get a presidency in 2027? And without further ado, let's get into it. Number one, Rigathi Gachagua is a very intelligent politician, a very good mobilizer, and somebody who sat down and calculated his impeachment made one very big mistake, and he must be regretting somewhere because Rigathi Gachagua mobilization skills, strategy, slogans is very effective in doing it. And right now, as we're speaking, he has come up with that we call I Makuzo thing, and it means a lot. Number one, the cousins mean that these are the Bantu communities and the Kushites communities coming together. And when you see, because the other side is formed of Raila Odinga and President Ruto, those are the Nilots. This is basically what we used to study in social studies when you're in primary school, but that's what is in place right now. If you have the Kampas together, you have the Kikuyus together, you have the Luyas communities together, then you're bringing the coast sub-communities together, then that's the Bantus and Gushites communities together. Because in this formation of Rigathi Gachagua, the cousins are many. And when you look at the other side of President Ruto, is that President Ruto, Raila Odinga are Nilots, because Luos and Kalenjins are Nilots. And I want to put my emphasis on the Bantu communities that Rigathi Gachagua is talking, because he said that he's going to, they already have the Kikuyu, they already have the Kampas, they already have the Kisi in the opposition, and they are talking about they already have a part of Luya nation, and Natembeya is one person they have always said that is in the opposition. Now, I want to look into the numbers because this is the most important thing. If this election is characterized by this cousin scenario, where the cousins of this side are coming together and the cousins, as Rigathi Gachagua is saying, are coming together and they are facing each other in an election, which cousins have the numbers to win an election? Basically, let's go into it. If you're bringing the Kikuyus, the Kampas, the Luyas community together, it's impossible to beat that coalition. And I will always say this. Kikuyus form about 35% of the registered voters in the country. Kikuyus alone, about 35% of registered voters in the country. That's why President Ruto won that election of 2022 when he got the significant support of the Kikuyu community and the Gema community at large. So if you have the Gema coming together, that's the Mount Kenya community. They are coming with 35% of their valid votes. Now, you go to the Kampas, who form about 11% of registered voters, you are already at 45%. You already have the 45%. Now, because in Kenyan election is 50 plus 1, you only need 6% plus 1 to win 6% to win that election. You bring the Kikuyu 35%, you bring Kampas 11%, that is 46. You need 5% to win that election. And there comes in, we have the Luyas on board, we have the Kisis on board. Kisis don't form part of the 5 bigger tribes in Kenya, but those that are the other tribes, Kisi are the top, the most majority in the other tribes. Immediately, in number 6 of total registered communities with highest registered voters, Kisi come at number 6. They come after number 6. That's after when you put Kikuyus, Kampas, Luyas, Luos. Those are form the top 5 communities with in terms of registered valid voters. Kisi comes at number 6. So we have the Kisis on board. Luyas are on board because I've been asking questions in this channel, and I'll still ask. If you are a lawyer and you're watching this channel, what directions are you going to take in 2027? Are you going to support Raila Odinga like it's been happening, or it's time to take a different scenario and come to the table? Because this is what even Natembeya has been advocating for, that in 2027, lawyer community will be going to the table as lawyer community. They don't want somebody else to negotiate for them. They will sit at that table as the lawyer community. And Natembeya, Cleo Malala, the likes of Peter Salasa, if they are going to join the opposition, trust me that the opposition is going to get a significant number of votes from the lawyer community. So it's practically impossible. Actually, it's practically impossible to beat a united Rigathi cousins in the 2027 general election. I've made all calculation possible. I've tried to calculate down, and I don't see a possible scenario where the cousins in Rigathi side, if they are united, they can lose an election, unless otherwise they are divided. And Rigathi Gachagua on Sunday, after that Kirinyaga church, addressed the same, that they will do anything possible to ensure that they have one presidential candidate. And that's where the secret lies. If they divide the votes, they lose. But if they stay united, the numbers cannot refuse to work, regardless on who is the flag bearer. Even if it means they take and give the presidency to Mother Karua, and they support her, the entire principal supporter, trust me, she will win the 2027 general election, unless there isn't an opposition. Unless there is an opposition, or there is a different candidate running from the opposition side. Otherwise, the opposition's numbers make it to a victory. So, but I've always said that one day is a very long time in politics. You never know what card is to be played, because this politics is like a script. We don't know what will be unveiled. We are waiting to see. We don't know what will happen in the opposition, because they have not declared their presidential candidate. We haven't seen the reaction of other principals, whether they are in uniform. They are all entirely agreed to support that presidential candidate. Because when you have 5 presidential candidates on the table, Martha Karua, Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Fred Matiangi, Natembeya, more are joining the opposition, all of them wanting to be president. Even Peter Salasa right now is saying he will be running for the 2027 presidency. If you have all those people on the table and you want to choose one person, the higher possibility that there can be a split. Others, in terms of numbers, valid votes, the opposition gets it. You can tell me what you think in the comment section. I'll take my more time to read and give you a response. Have a nice day. Stay safe whenever you are indoors.